Hello there, this is Virtual's Chess Noob learning and having fun with chess. Now in today's game, it's only the second time where I've gotten two brilliant moves in the same game. Let's go take the look. I've got the white pieces and it's going to be a Vienna Gambit. So e4, e5, the knight c3, my opponent plays the Fogby, knight f6, f4, Vienna Gambit, and they accept the gambit. That always puts a smile on my face because it always means it's going to be a fun game. So accepting the Vienna Gambit is practically an inaccuracy. The best move is to enter the main line with d5, because with that move, I've moved their pawn out of the center and now I can push with e5. And this knight has nowhere good to go, pretty much has to go back. And so they do. Move to no, develop the knight, basically prevents queen h4 with check, which can be a bit problematic. They now decide to go aggressive with bishop to b4, ostensibly attacking the knight. Now the thing to know here is that you can pretty much just ignore that. And so d4, bolstering that pawn, opening the diagonal for to capture the pawn back. They play a move, that's fine. I take that pawn, giving yet another defender to that piece. So basically it doesn't really make sense for them to capture. This is also fine now as well. So even if I capture back, pretty much happy to trade queens. So now they decide to trade their bishop for the knight. And you can see that's an inaccuracy. It's a mistake because I now capture back. I now have this super solid structure of pawns in the center. And that bishop was their most active piece. It's now gone. They now try to do something on the other side, pinning my knight to my queen. Again, ignore. Develop my other bishop. And here they decide to trade. You can see straight up mistake. It's now about plus 5.5 because after captures, consider where we are on move 10. I'm ready to castle in either direction, though probably kingside. I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces developed. I've got this very powerful structure in the center with my pawns. And look at black. They have one piece not on their starting square, and it's just a d6. So I've got an absolutely massive development advantage over black, and pretty much it's my game to lose. They push another pawn. I now short castles. And basically, this is now very, very powerful with that semi-open f-file. They decide to push a pawn. That's fine. I just move my bishop out of the way. They develop their knight, but here we go. I move my bishop to g5, pinning the knight to the queen, but also now there's an immediate mate threat. Pretty much king forced to short castles, but they're forced to short castles into an absolutely massive attack on the king. So what's the first move here? Bishop sacrifice. Brilliant move, number one, punching a hole in their h-file. They capture, queen to h5 with check, winning tempo, king forced back, giving me an opportunity to rook lift. So that was the purpose of that bishop sacrifice. Punch a hole and also win even more development time, win even more tempo, getting ready for a potential mate. They try to block that by pushing the g-pawn, but pushing the g-pawn in front of the king very rarely is that good. I here didn't see a mating line, so I decided to push my queen forward, but you can see Stockfish sees something very, very evil. Here I had the opportunity to sacrifice the queen. With that, king is forced to take, rook now with check, king forced back, bishop to that square, and now mate is unpreventable. So that was an absolutely brilliant line. However, I didn't see that, so I pushed queen to that position. They decide now to try to, force a trade of queens. It looks like it's a good move. In fact, I've only got one move here that doesn't give black the advantage, and that move is sacrifice number 2, rook sacrifice. And here they move their queen out of the way, out of that attack, but that's not what I was looking for. Bishop to f6. That is mate next turn. You know, black can potentially give a spite check, but all that does is that it saves them from one turn. My opponent saw this and so decided to resign. Good game, GG. The big takeaway from this game is really one of an opening principle. Don't launch an attack in the opening or trade a piece unless there's a good reason for it. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.